All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Shirogorov Hati R here with me for a review. We're going to analyze the look, the sound, and the feel. But first of all, let's just do a quick size comparison up against one of these brothers. This is the Shirogorov Quantum. And let's do another Shiro just because we have it here. This is the F3, so these are pretty much the same. This guy is just a tad longer. Then we can check it out up against another beauty. This is the Holt Bladeworks Spectre. And let's do also another, amazing one. Stay tuned for the review for the Koenig Arius right over here. And just some couple classics. This is the Chris Reeve Knives Sebenza 31. Very, very comparable. Handle size just a tad smaller. And of course, the blade is shorter. And let's do, of course, Spyderco Para Military 2. Look at this. Handle size, pretty much the same, but the Shiro is packing pretty much longer edge right over there. And yeah, why not? Let's just do Para 3 right over here. The blade handle ratio, it's not even comparable. So this is a beautiful, it's a beautiful knife. This is pretty simple to say. It's gorgeous. I think the lines are so simple. There are consistent throughout the lineup. The F95, the ATI and the F3 are sharing the general outlines of the handle, but they are pretty different in the substance. Like for example, this is a frame lock, titanium frame lock on this side. On the other side, you have this Alutex, which is like aluminum and like carbon fiber kind of mix, which is conferring a pretty astounding lightness to the body. This is an original design by Shirogorov. It's made in Russia, has this, I'm in love with these sweeping lines. Look at this sinuous and harmonious curves around this handle. I mean, come on, guys. And the handle is milled in such a way that it reflects light. Look at this. You see that based on the angle you're gonna watch the scale, it's gonna reflect light and give you some different perspectives of these milled out radial grooves. Just beautiful. In this case, this is a purple scale. You can find it in green, black, silver, orange, red, several colors. The overall length of this guy is 8.75 inches. The blade is going to be 3.75 inches long, and the overall feeling, the overall look is a Shiro. I mean, you see this one right after the first glimpse, you're handling a Shiro because not only of the bear, but the general lines. I mean, the clip, it's so distinctive, it's unique. This version here has been heavily skeletonized in the scale for the lock side, and if you can see, the weight reduction has been pretty substantial. The flipper tab is fantastic. It's a work of art. This is the perfect flipper tab, I think. 3 lines for the jimping, very rounded off surface here. You're not gonna be tired of flipping this guy ever. You can push button really constantly, or light switch it like that. You're not gonna be tired. This is designed like crazy. It's beautiful. It's just I think it's the perfect flipper tab. The handle also is very nicely designed. Look at this finger groove right here. It's just perfect for my index, at least, and chamfered in a beautiful way all around, beautifully. Inside, there's some inner chamfering going on, which is, again, extremely, extremely comfortable. The jimping going on it's only over here in the blade, on the spine of the blade, and if you can see, it is beautifully done. It's perfect. It's looking good. It's effective. It's attractive. So it's phenomenal. Also, the backspacer right over here is a pretty nice 3D milled titanium backspacer, which has the same light stonewash finish of the handle, matching with the clip. Just a great job they've done. Also integrating a lanyard hole right over here, so it's not going to be the easiest, of the lanyard holes to pass your paracord or whatever through this hole. You're gonna probably have to disassemble at least the top scale, the presentation scale, in order for you to pass like a lanyard through it, but not a big deal. Also, lock face is, there's a stainless steel insert right over here. There's no lock stick whatsoever. It's just phenomenal. The lock release relief has been nicely chamfered. Look at this. It's beautiful. So your thumb just slides through this, indentation right over here to rest right over this area in order to be able to disengage the lock bar. Very, very nicely designed. Also, the lock bar has an internal relief cut right over here in order not to detract anything from the design on the lock side. Also, the disassembly is going to be straightforward to a point, because you have two basically pivot screw and handle screw. These are proprietary screws, so you need technically like a Shirogorov tool, but you can pull it off if you're careful with the dime. It's not something that I recommend, but if you don't have the tool, you can pull it off. You have just to be really careful not to be going to mar these screws, because if you're using a tougher metal than this one, you're gonna scratch them up. So it's gonna be, not nice. So, but after these first two screws is going to be pretty, you're going to be pretty careful, because the bearings are going to be loose. So it's advised to do this in a container, or using like a mat, like a takedown mat for electronics and things like that. Also, the something that I truly in love is the pocket clip. This guy is designed like almost to perfection. It's not perfect because the clip ramp looks like a little bit shallow, but actually there's an extra indentation here which has the purpose of sliding the edge of the pocket like in a more easy way. So it's beautifully designed. It's not as beautifully designed as this guy. This is the perfect pocket clip. This slides in like a boss, and it's perfect. So they use the same concept of an indentation on the lock bar in order to facilitate you to slide it into your pocket. But this is nicely executed as only one point of contact right over here instead of having two. For example, this is the Hati, not the Hati R, which has 2 points of contact when you slide you see, 1 and 2. So they improved the design a little bit with this change, which I truly appreciate. The pocket clip, of course, is 3D machine titanium, tip-up only, not reversible, so this is not going to be ambidextrous. But overall, it's just a gorgeous piece. Look at this. I mean, the blade is 3.75 inch long. It's M390 steel, like good to go. The finish, you cannot believe this is stone washed. This looks like vapor blast, like the Snafu, or but I mean not stone washed. But yeah, look at this. This is stone washed. It's insane. There's the stock thickness. It's a little bit on the thick side, but it's robust, guys. This is perfect. It's gonna culminate into a very strong tip, and there's basically all almost a full flat grind. It's not fully reaching the spine, but there's a little bit of flat over here. It nicely sweeps down and belly up to I would say 40%, 50, and then you have a plain edge up to the sharpening choil, which, by the way, look at the plunge grind. Look at this, like this is beautiful. And this is not really like a finger choil, it's gonna be just like a sharpening choil. But the plunge grind is beautifully executed and gives some nice contrast. It's fantastic. I'm in love. Jimping is really, really nice and functional. You don't have any thumb ramp, no spine crowning, just a little bit of, chamfering going on over here right around the jimping and nothing going on. There's a minimal billboarding with the bear and the steel employed, but overall very, very clean looking blade. Let's check out the sound this guy makes, because it's really sweet and rich. And you hear the whoosh of the bearings rubbing up against not the scale but the inlaid stainless steel washers. You can hear that right before the blade hits the stop pin, and it's a fantastic sound. It's just beautiful. When it whips out like that, it's just great. And when you close the knife, you have this sweet click, very dampened and very discreet, I think. So you have a little bit of a nice and not brutal, but it's a nice blast when firing open this blade. And when you close it, boom, beautifully dampened sound. Very, very nice and pleasant sound. The weight also is very nice. It's 4.1 ounces. The feeling you get in the handle is, man, it's beautiful. There's no hot spots, no sharp edges. The jimping is rightly functional. The texture, it's grippy because you have these grooves milled out. You can do easily like a nice reverse grip, and you're gonna be pretty solid and reliable purchase. You cannot really like choke it up because there's no finger choil, but you can use a more advanced position like this. It's gonna be solid in your hand. Of course, no blade play whatsoever. There are no gaps. There's nothing like out of place. Like they really, guys, they really designed this perfectly, I think. The clip retention, it's the right amount. It's not too strong, not too weak. The deployment speed, guys, this, I mean, you just push button and boom, this flies open. It's a beauty. And there's no finger sore because I told you, the flipper tab is beautifully designed. Guys, this is perfect. This is running on MRBS, which is multi-row bearing system. Basically, you have like a disc with the holes, with a helicoidal pattern with 21 bearings per side. Just crazy. And these guys are loose, so you have to be a little bit careful when you disassemble this one. But the action, it's just this one. It's just super smooth. It's phenomenal, and it's just great. The detent strength, it's dialed in, so you have this incredible firing action. There's no way you're gonna be able to touch the tip of the blade. No rattling going on when shaken. Everything is well put together, 100%. The easiness with which you're gonna release, disengage the lock bar is fantastic, because you have this one protruding and scalloped and milled like that. So look at this, boom, super easy. No lock stick because of the stainless steel insert. No detent ball ramp, so you're gonna have this detent bump, like a little bit of a hard step, but you're gonna be rewarded as soon as you do this thing by the complete smoothness and free falling guillotine smoothened and dampened effect like that, which is just typical and great and gorgeous for almost any Shiro that I tried. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.